Right, welcome to your reading, guys. I thought we'd take a look at the next few days, what's coming up in the next few days for you. And I kind of felt very strongly about looking at the next 4 days. It's very specific. Normally I do sort of the next 2 to 3 days, but the next 4 days is something for us to pay attention to at the moment. And there's something about the number 4. What does that represent for you? I have my own feelings around the number 4, but that's something for you guys to kind of feel into, is what does number 4, I just saw 40 seconds on the clock as well. So what does the number 4 represent for you? Is it an angel number, or does it have numerology kind of energy to it for you? Astrological, what influences the way you interpret this number? So pile number 1, we're looking at the next 4 days, what's coming up in the next 4 days, what might you need to be aware of, what's something to be excited about, just general, how can you kind of prepare. Pile number 1 is the Field Tarot. Pile number 2 will be the Fantasy World Tarot. Pile number 3 is going to be Eternal Bones Tarot. And it's interesting, maybe I should have had a 4th pile. The 4th pile is up to you. So, timestamps will be down below, and I'll see you there. So, pile number 1, welcome to your reading. We're taking a look at the next 4 days, energies, anything that you might need to be aware of, any clarity that you might need to have. So, we're just going to shuffle a few times, and then we'll just see what comes out. And this is for you guys. This could be urgent guidance. It could be, you're seeking answers and you're just needing to know something. So I'm just asking for the universe to bring you exactly what you need to hear at this time, peacefully and harmoniously. So first message here, guys. Pile number 1, you guys are looking at the past too much emotional residue around the past. I think there's been challenges, but you're actually needing to address at the same time, there's an emotional response or an emotional state or just feelings around something that maybe it's been challenging to understand how you feel about something. I think you're being put back in the driver's seat with something here, pile number 1. So it has been, this is like past, present, future is kind of what I'm getting. So this is your current state here, is the underlying energy. I think you've been potentially feeling under attack. And I am being given, it's a metaphorical scene of like being under fire, like in a battle. And I'm getting that this, in the metaphor that I saw, just the visual that I got just now, it was like a war zone with guns and things like that. But I think the guns are actually, I'm seeing swords as well. I think the guns, this is all energetic projections or even words. So it could be a lot of kind of stuff being talked about you around you. And I'm getting there is a need to kind of cocoon yourself. It's quite sharp, all right? But you're being put back in the driver's seat. We're going back to remembering you're being put back in the driver's seat. It's my life, it's now or never. So it's your life, guys. It's your life. So the next 4 days, we do have 4 cards actually. That's cool. What I'm hearing, guys, is that you do have a say in this. And there is an element of creativity as to what is the solution. We have all the elements here. We've got cups, wands, swords, and discs, which is pentacles. So you could be someone who's very resourceful. And I'm actually getting this encouragement from your guides over the next 4 days, you got this. Like, just I'm actually hearing do what needs to be done. Please use your discernment with these messages. I do not intend for these messages to cause harm to anyone. However, there is this need to put you back in the driver's seat, really straighten something out. And that you get to decide, certain elements in your life are decided by you. And that's where you are taking the driver's seat. I'm actually getting that song by Carrie Underwood, Jesus Take the Wheel. I don't know if she's actually the original singer to that song, but Jesus Take the Wheel. And then I'm hearing, well, why are you giving the wheel to Jesus? It's your car. So, this is about you stepping back into your power over the next 4 days in a resourceful way, not in a attacky kind of unhelpful way. This is about being resourceful and being a little bit clever. And it's all going to work out. This Two of Pentacles. Two of Pentacles came up in the last reading, actually. So if there's one of my other readings that you're drawn to, feel free to check them out. Just with that Two of Pentacles in mind. Or even two piles that you're needing to look at here. I'm also hearing, just take your time with it. The next 4 days does not have to be a rush. And there's also a message here for you guys, pile number one. Like, I have these cards in front of me, but I'm actually channeling. It's like this energy is in front of me, and it looks like this, but I'm actually channeling. So trust yourselves over the next 4 days. If something out here doesn't make sense, or you're not sure, neither head nor tail, you can't make sense of something, go back to your own guidance and go within and ask yourself, what's being required of me? What am I wanting to, this is something about like relying on your own inner guidance instead of putting it all out there. Something will be balancing out. I'm getting this thing as well. There's been many sides to the coin. Then there's been a few sides to the coin, and now there's only 2 sides. So this could actually be where you started off over here with a potentially emotionally taxing situation or a confusing situation, and you couldn't make head nor tail of it, and it felt like you were under attack, and then there was a need to heal from something. Or even this could be like a discussion that needed to be had, but it was a painful discussion, or it was a tricky one to navigate. And then things are getting straightened out here. And now I'm getting this taste of chips, like crisps. Off-brand. Something is off-brand and fake. And I have this urge to actually shuffle these around. It still actually feels like it needs to go there. So it's like any which way that you look at something, this is how it is. Like it's giving me this vibe of someone trying to talk their way out of something. And it's like, you know what? No, I can't seem to see your side of it. It doesn't make any sense what you're saying. This is actually what feels right for me. So there's many different ways that this could be going for you all. But I do hope that something in here has resonated positively for you and will help you to navigate the next 4 days. It could also be helpful to listen back to this reading. Yeah, she's sort of, this is like Bambi. She's like saying, look, you've heard this message. Now in 4 days, come back to this reading and have a listen through it again and see how things resonated. And then this is like how, this is how your guides are wanting you to, it's like they're kind of looking to show you, okay, so you interpreted this way, but in 4 days' time, you're going to have a different perspective on things. So this reading might resonate differently in 4 days. And how interesting that might be, So I'm going to leave that there, pile number 1. Thank you very much for being here, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Pile number 2, welcome to your reading today. We've chosen the Fantasy World Tarot, and looking at sort of the next 4 days, anything that you're needing to kind of be aware of. I saw 10:23 on the clock there, so I'm also hearing one small step for, what is it they said when Neil Armstrong landed on the moon? One step for man, one huge step for mankind, or something like that. So it feels like you're going to be taking a big step, but it will be done in small steps, but it'll feel like a big step, or these lots of little steps will end up becoming, it's like the sum of all parts. Like you're maybe working to achieve something in the next 4 days, you've got a goal, or you're in the race to the finish line or something like that, and you've got to take little steps to reach the big milestone. So there's something about breaking up your goals into smaller bite-sized, and there's the word tangible keeps coming to mind. So if there's something that feels overwhelming to you over the next 4 days, just break it up into smaller, more digestible pieces. 11:22 on the clock there. And I'm seeing someone here in pile 2 working with another person, and I saw it in a therapy sense, like you're sitting at a desk, sitting at a table, having like almost like a deep and meaningful or a therapy session with another person. And I saw you being the one in the big chair, kind of like spoon feeding this other person, or like helping them to understand something about themselves, but you're helping them to do it in bite-sized ways, like in bite-sized pieces. And asking questions is the key thing that comes up here. So next 4 days, let's take a look. So we're looking at the underlying factor here. Queen of Pentacles. Oh, she's beautiful. And the word resourceful is coming up again. That was in pile number 1 as well. The word resourceful. But here in pile 1, I had this sense of the guidance was to be resourceful, but it was like using tangible resources, like handling finances carefully, or your energy or your time. This one here, she's resourceful, but she makes things beautiful. So there's this sense of mastery of the elements, but then taking it a step further and making it so incredibly beautiful, but it's also harmonious with nature. So I feel like over the next 4 days, you might actually become aware of how you do this in some way. If you're seeing butterflies, that is definitely a spirit guide message for you. So pay attention to the color of the butterflies. Pay attention to what you were thinking about or doing at the time that you saw them. And pay attention to the way that the butterfly dances in front of you. That butterfly or those butterflies have a message for you, and don't stress about it, but it's just there's something the butterfly is wanting to connect with you on. There's like some big cards here. I mean, we've got the Sun. Sun card's already a big card, but because it's like the Phoenix, it feels like it's 3 cards in one. So you are no longer going to have to do something on your own, pile 2. There's someone here. I'm getting something about a trickster spirit. So this could be someone who walks between the physical and the spiritual world, someone very spiritual. Or even aspects of you. So you're showing up in the physical, but then there's this aspect of you that is very spiritual as well. I mean, Baron Samedi. So that's voodoo, witchcraft. There's this harmonizing between, or there's these 2 aspects of a person potentially, or 2 different people. So I keep thinking actually this looks like peanuts And then it's like when they're still in the shell, and then it's making me think of like a baseball game, like take me out to the ball game. I miss some peanuts and crackers. So over the next 4 days, you could even like see an advertisement for a snack, and then you think, okay, cool, I'm going to go get that. This one here, the World card, the figure of 8 is very fascinating to me. This is like something's gone back out and now it's coming back in, and there's this eternal process, and it's making me think of the Fibonacci sequence as well, where, you know, we might have the same experience multiple times, but on different layers and different levels, so that we understand that experience from a deeper level. So you may be having a conversation with someone that's like, okay, we did this already. This feels like a repeat of something we've already done, but there is something significant about it, and it will be transformative. The Sun card, it's going to become, whatever your feelings are about this particular conversation, it definitely is there's a conversation that you'll be having with one other person. It kind of goes back to the visual I had just before of the therapist. And it might not be a therapist per se, but it's like an intimate conversation about a deep part of you or the other person. I do feel like it's the other person. You've already understood the thing that this person is wanting to talk to you about, but this person is like inspired by you, and they're wanting to transform. See the snake on this leg here, it's like they're wanting to transform that part of themselves, and they're giving you a wee tip of the hat because they're recognizing something that you've already achieved. And there will be a conversation around this over the next 4 days. For you guys it might be 5 days, but 4 days basically. And this Phoenix card is, it's like someone, this Phoenix card's making me think of someone who just is who they are. They burn brightly, they burn transformatively, and it's almost like there's no getting near them, or there's no changing them. You can't change fire. Fire is going to burn as long as it wants to, you know. And then this Phoenix doesn't die, it reincarnates. It you know, it dies in a sense, but then it comes back. So that's very interesting for you guys as well, pile number 2. Now, if you feel guided to check out pile number 3, I do feel like there's a connection there. And final message for you guys is to trust your instincts. Not necessarily act on them, but just trust what your instincts are telling you. There could be, I'm channeling this here, there could be someone who's trying to, actually, I'm just also realizing there's fire in the background here as well. There could be an element of anger, but there's also the element of air and earth. Okay, so there's a grounding, like grounding this anger or passion within this conversation, and it's a very grounded conversation. It has the potential to become something wild, but because you're so grounded and there's this gracefulness, it's going to be okay. Like the conversation might be a little charged, but it will be positively charged. I'm just putting that out there for you guys as well. There is something here about being Jewish or Judaism or simply a belief system. The Star of David is significant here. And something about watching the stars. I've never seen these chains here before. I have never seen them. So with that, I think you're going to, over the next 4 days, you're going to quickly, I keep hearing 4 to 5 days for you guys, you're going to quickly realize that you were chained to something that you were unable to express beyond a certain point because of these chains that were holding you, and there's chains and ropes. So there could be multiple cords of attachment in your energy that you need to release. But there is a process with that, and once you release these chains, then the Phoenix is here, and it's like, then I'm hearing like, it's on. This is the full expression of who you are. I think this is sort of the process that happens in between. I kind of feel like I need to do this. This is you, day to day, just getting on with things. Just, you know, you're peaceful, you're grounded, you see what is needed and asked of you, and you find ways to do it in a way that respects your time and energy. But if you need to get going here with the Phoenix, it's like you're someone who's like, you know how to address conflict, or if someone like disrespects you is kind of what I'm getting. Like there's this like, if you disrespect me, oh, Phoenix. And there is a sense of like being in right standing with yourself over the next 4 days, 4 to 5 days, they keep saying, 4 to 5 days, okay? So something might take slightly longer than you think it should, or slightly longer than you wanted it to, but it's only going to be like an extra day or an extra half day. So there could even be something about staying a little bit later at work, or needing to do an extra day on a project at work or something like that, or just having to attend one extra meeting over the next 4 days. But there's a message here as well to balance out that, yin yang, balance the scales. If you've done extra work, then take extra time to breathe some fresh air and rest. And do something fun. Yeah, do something fun. I think over the next 4 days, it's important to do something fun and restful and grounding. So that is everything for you guys, pile 2. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll check you in the next one. Bye. Pile number 3, welcome to your reading. We've chosen the Eternal Bones Tarot, and we're looking at the next 4 days for you, and it sort of feels like kind of not really urgent, but just like, hey, here's a little memo for you to know. Next 4 days, you could feel confused about the order of something, and I'm seeing someone actually, the visual I'm getting is someone walking down the aisle, and maybe one of the bridesmaids or the groomsmen is not quite sure when they're supposed to like hand over the rings, or there's just this like, there's a procession of events, but someone's not really sure of their place and what they're supposed to be doing exactly. So the advice there, it's really quite grounded, practical advice here. If, like, just have an awareness around the people who you're working with, or, I'm hearing compartmentalizing with, but just have an awareness of the people around you. And if you feel like maybe someone's not quite sure, or if you're not quite sure, don't be afraid to ask. And even if it's, hey, asking your guides, say like, guides, I'm not really sure what's expected of me in this situation. I don't really know what's going on. It's okay to ask a question, even if you only feel comfortable asking your guides, and they can make arrangements. I'm hearing use your voice. Use your voice. That might be anything for you guys. It might be singing, it might be talking, it might be laughing. Use your voice, but there's something about speaking up, or just using your voice. I also felt like I wanted to take my time with this reading, but then I felt this sense of like, no, keep moving. So there's this message here for you guys over the next 4 days. Don't stop completely. Don't lose momentum on something. Even if you have to keep dragging yourself or slow down to a crawl, keep moving forward. You're not going to want to stop the momentum that you've built up over the next for the next 4 days. It's actually a critical time period for you guys for the next 4 days, and not that you have to be worried or anything. Just keep moving forward, even if it's as slow as anything. Just keep moving forward, and just because sometimes it's like if you go for a run, for example, and I'm just speaking from my experience, of course. Sometimes if you go for a run and then you completely stop, it can be a lot harder to actually keep moving again or get started again once you've completely stopped at a standstill. So just keep moving forward. There's a lot of different situations that is going to play out in. For every single one of you, it's going to be a completely different story. So if you feel like popping that down in the comments below and just sort of sharing about your experience and maybe how you overcame the confusion or the doubt, or how you kept up momentum, or how you kept up your spirits during this situation, feel free to use that as an encouragement for others. So let's look at the underlying here. All right, so going back to the Four of Wands, it can can be about homecoming, it can be celebration. So that kind of takes me back to the visual I got of someone being at in a wedding party and not quite knowing exactly what was expected of them. There is something as well about homecoming, like a school dance, like homecoming queen, homecoming king, or the arrival of something, or the arrival of someone. So I'm seeing someone being driven to the location where a party is at or a celebration, but they're not sure which door they need to be at. So all very interesting kind of snippets there. I'm actually hearing you say, "Oh shit, we missed our entrance," or we're at the wrong door. So don't be afraid to ask questions. Kind of what this message is saying for you over the next 4 days. Be okay with, learn to be okay with asking questions. I feel like because this is coming up so much, I feel like this is the main theme for you guys. Over the next 4 days, you could be asking yourself a lot of questions. I'm seeing someone with a journal writing down a lot of things. So there's just something about giving yourself permission to ask questions and be inquisitive, to inquire, sending an email. It's okay to ask a question to further clarify, and use office speak if you have to. Just to clarify. I wanted to further clarify what we were talking about the other day, or and the Three of Wands is actually putting that into action. But then there's also the sense of seeing what you've done pay off in a way. So asking questions about this event and then actually being provided with actionable steps that are a solution to whatever that issue is that you have. I think it's just a general, just a confusion over the procession of something, and the word procession is significant as well. So there's a lot of sort of traditional family events that are happening over the next 4 days for a lot of you guys, pile 3, where you're going to be needed to be in certain places at certain times, and you need to ask questions about what's expected of you, especially if you're feeling nervous. So I'm actually going to leave that there. Is there anything else? Now that's everything, pile 3, but thank you so much for being here, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.